Good morning, everyone. My name is Gabe Jimenez, and I'm a product marketing manager at Google, working across all of Southeast Asia. I want to welcome everyone to our final and eighth session in the MSME Caravan Mondays program, brought to you in partnership between Grow with Google and DTI. I want to give a big heartfelt thank you to ASEC Jean Pacheco and the rest of the DTI team for wonderful collaboration and knowledge sharing over these last 8 weeks. It truly was a joy. Today's session will be a special session focused specifically on businesses working in the food and beverage industry. We know that because of the impact of COVID-19, a lot of F&B businesses have had to adjust drastically, and many of you are coming online for the very first times for your businesses. Because of that, we're going to try to keep the content light and really focused on specific things today. We're going to cover some just general advice on everything from building your brand for your business on digital content to photography to menu presentation and more, and then we'll jump into some actual specific Google tools. You're in good hands today because you'll get the presenting from my colleague Kate Lee, who is a big advocate for helping small to medium businesses navigate the digital landscape. Thank you again for these last wonderful 8 weeks. And like every session, if you have questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to leave them in the Q&A portion. And at the end of the session, we will either give you an answer in writing or save your question to answer it live. With that, I'll kick it over to Kate so we can get started. Take care.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to our MSME Caravan Mondays. Today's session will be Google for Food and Beverage MSMEs. Bago po ang lahat, allow me to share with you some fun facts about myself. Hello, I'm Kate, and sa mga Bisaya diha sa audience, maayong buntag from Bohol. I am currently an industry manager at Google, handling the consumer packaged goods business, which includes food and beverage market. On a personal note, nag-aaral po ako ngayon as barista. Bilang mahilig po ako sa kape at may maliit kaming cafe kasama ang mga kapatid ko. Dati rin po ako nagbe-bake sa bakery namin and ang specialty ko ay chiffon cake, lalo na pag Christmas season. So really excited to be talking to everyone this morning, lalo na sa isang topic na tayong lahat dito ay makaka-relate. Tips para sa food and beverage business nating lahat. Para sa umagang ito, we will cover 2 different parts. First, aaralin natin ang different tips na pwede natin ma-apply to develop a food and beverage business successfully. Second, titingnan din natin kung paano natin magagamit ang iba't ibang free Google tools for the food and beverage industry na hopefully makakatulong sa mga general challenges that we are facing amidst this pandemic. For our first topic, silipin na muna natin ang food and beverage online growth. Ang good news is, the food and beverage industry ang top contributor to the Philippines' economic growth. In 2018, it was estimated that food and beverage sector accounted for 9.7% of GDP in the Philippines and 41.9% o halos 4 out of 10 Filipino households' expenditure goes to food consumption. Kaya malaking bagay na makita ang laki ng potential ng industriyang ito. Kung titingnan naman natin ang online food delivery service, ito ang game changer for the food and beverage industry, not just here in the Philippines but worldwide. It makes it more convenient for consumers like me and you to have access to their favorite restaurants, and at the same time, it is also easier for restaurants to target these consumers through online. In the Philippines, for 2021, it is projected that revenue in the online food delivery segment itself is projected to reach $312 million, indicating that more and more consumers and restaurants are opting to go digital using the online food delivery. The market's largest segment is restaurant-to-consumer delivery, which indicates that restaurant businesses are using online food delivery to expand their customer reach. Magandang pag-isipan itong facts na to habang iniisip natin kung ano ang service platform na pwede nating gamitin para sa ating mga sariling negosyo. Pag food and beverage ang pinag-uusapan, malaking factor nito ang kung paano natin maeengganyo ang ating target customers na mapabili at matikman ang ating offerings. So as a food and beverage business owner, napaka-importante ang visualization sa inyong marketing. Tip number 1, create an interesting menu. Very visual tayo mga Pinoy, hindi po ba? Kaya pag nakakakita tayo ng mga nakakatakam na photos, nakakatulong ito para gustuhin nating subukan ang pagkain sa photo na nakita natin. Nasubukan nyo na bang mag-order sa isang restaurant by pointing doon sa picture ng menu? Usually, nangyayari to dahil attractive tingnan yung nasa photo. Kaya rin natin tong gawin sa sarili nating mga menu. We will give a few tips for creating attractive menus in terms of structure and design. Para ma-layout ng maayos ang photos at descriptions for your menus, you can use Google Slide to organize and design your menu. You can easily copy and paste photos and write down your descriptions beside your photos. In structuring your menu, categorize different types of food and drinks. Group them as maybe appetizers, mains and desserts, or rice and noodles. So it is easier for the customers to browse and check what they want to eat. Ensure that the layout is organized and well-spaced. Insert inviting photos and use descriptive sentences to describe your food. Example, classic chicken adobo. And for the description, you really describe what goes into the adobo. So for this example, it says, popular Philippine chicken stew, richly marinated in soy sauce and vinegar, a well-loved dish that instantly reminds you of home. So ganon ka-descriptive para ma-imagine din talaga ng mga customers nyo kung ano yung pagkain na o-orderin nila. Let's look at this sample menu. So, unang tingin pa lang, it has to look simple. It should also be easy to understand. So, besides the food photo that you have, you also put your description beside it. And also, clearly put the price there and make sure that it is in Philippine peso. Tip number 2. If you want to find inspiration for a new menu, you can search via, first, social media by following pages about food and viewing their posts. Marami din tayong food bloggers, so via blogs, they can be a great source of inspiration. Also, follow food industry influencers and see the food trends that they post. From the inspirations that you get, you can check out Google Trends also to see if there is really a demand for that. We will talk more about Google Trends later also in another section. Tip number 3, arranging and displaying food. So styling and appearance play an important role because we eat with our 5 senses. So sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. We can invite our customers' appetites with their eyes by making food look good and delicious para maengganyo talaga silang subukan. But the arrangement of food should be more than to be photographed because there are still other senses that you also have to consider to satisfy the customer besides them looking at the photo. So for your photos, you can actually use the app called Google Photos. So you can arrange your photos into albums and easily look for them again when you need to use them. So check out Google Photos. So pinag-uusapan natin kanina pa na kailangan na nakakaengganyo ang food shots natin. So how do we take interesting food photos? We will share about general tips for organizing food, color theory in arranging and pairing food, general food photography tips, and some photography techniques. When arranging food, especially for photos, pay attention to the following. Choose the most ideal and beautiful ingredients, which should look fresh without defects. Ayaw natin yung baka may makitang uod, di ba, sa picture. Pay attention to the combination of colors and textures. Color theory will actually be discussed in the next slide. Make sure that your equipment like plates, glass, spoons, and forks are clean, not greasy and walang fingerprints, so it really looks hygienic to the eyes of your customers. Avoid fixtures that are shiny kasi makikita ang reflection when you take the photo. By studying color theory, you can identify colors that look well and attractive together. Here, there are 6 types of color combinations. Una, yung monochrome. Ang gamit ay isang kulay lang. Another would be complementary. So, 2 colors that are located opposite to each other. So, kung nakikita niyo tong may dalawang bilog, so dito, purple and yellow. Meron ding split complementary. So, 1 color and 2 colors that lie next to complementary colors. Another would be double complementary. So, 2 pairs of complementary colors. Meron ding triad. 3 colors that are the same distance across this color wheel. So, kita nyo yung tatlong bilog. And lastly, analogous. A line of colors located side by side. So, paano nga ba to natin ma-apply sa food photography? So, tingnan natin tong examples that apply the color theory. Una, for monochrome. So, if nakikita nyo, ang pinaka-dominant color talaga sa photo na to is orange. So, matingkad and it really stands out. The other one, for complementary colors, you will see here that in the photo, ang mas kitang-kita would be the color combination of green and purple. And then, sa last, sa split complementary, it actually uses 3 color combination. So, you'll see green, purple, and orange as the one that stands out in the photography. Also, you will see here for double complementary, kitang-kita mo yung 4 na colors na lumalabas sa photo na ito. Sa triad, kita mo rin yung green, orange, and ginamit na medyo purplish type of background. And lastly, sa analogous, may 4 na kulay na ginamit na magkakatabi sa color wheel. So after arranging the food properly and maybe also applying some of the notes that we saw in the color theory for photography, we must also be able to show it in the form of photos on the menu na mismo. So, tips for taking good food photos. First, take photos in natural light. So, meaning daytime. So, sana maybe by the window kasi mas kita mo yung source of light from there. Para at least kitang-kita kung may color theory man tayong ginamit, kitang-kita yung colors na nagpa-pop out sa food photography nyo. Also, pay attention to the photo background. Kung ang gusto talaga nating makita nung food photo sa menu ay yung pagkain dahil yun yung o-orderin, sana dun talaga yung focus ng photo ninyo para hindi na rin makita na, may iba pang busy na background sa likod nito. So, it also takes away the focus on the food that you wanted to sell. Also, create layers to build dimensions para hindi naman mukhang flat lang tingnan yung photo. And also, you could always use props to complement things. So, make sure also, like, kunwari, coffee yung pino-photograph nyo, make sure that maganda naman din yung magtingnan para at least nakakaengganyo talagang inumin yung kape. Okay, so let's go through different photography techniques that you can use. Una would be flat lay. So, uso to lalo na sa mga millennials. So, flat lay is a technique in which the photo is actually taken from above. So, meron kang mesa, nakalagay doon lahat ng gusto mong i-take na photo, and then on a 90-degree angle, pipicturean nyo yung photo from the top. So, ang kailangan natin maayos dito would be there should be good lighting and also that it could be adjusted para hindi nyo makita yung shadows. Minsan kasi yung anggulo ng lighting nandito pala sa likod natin or nandito sa harap ng ating kamay, edi pag tayo ay nag-take ng photo, syempre yung shadow ng kamay natin o nung camera, yung yung nakikita din doon sa photos. So kailangan lang din yun aralin at tingnan na hindi nakikita yung shadows doon. Okay, another technique is the rule of thirds. So dito, as the name suggests, you actually look at the photo and divide it into three. So if you can see here, 1, 2, 3, and then also if you look at from the left, parang 1, 2, 3 going down. So you will actually basically create 9 boxes in that photo. So ang papansinin niyo dito na parang the object that you want to focus on in the photo should be placed near where the intersections of these lines meet. So dito nakikita niyo yon, naka-red circle, dapat nandun nakaposisyon yung food na gusto niyong picturean para at least meron ding dynamics sa food photography natin. So, mabilis to actually makita even sa smartphones nyo to access this feature. Sa iPhone, look at settings app and then camera and then grid. Sa Android naman, look at camera app, settings, grid, and then 3x3. So, this could really help para ma-layout ng tama yung sa food photography ninyo. Another is macro photography. So this technique naman means that photos are taken up close. So the focus is very much on the object. So minsan nablur na yung ibang object sa likod nito, and which is good kasi it also provides texture in your photo, and at the same time it really also puts the focus on the food that you wanted to also show. So sometimes it does not contain the whole object para may style, minsan part lang. You could also use macro lenses for food photos, though you don't really need a macro lens. All right, so that ends our first part of the session on general tips that can help you in your business. In this next part, tingnan naman natin ang mga free Google tools na pwede ninyong gamitin para makatulong palalo sa inyong business. So, help people find you online naman now that you're open, and stay connected to customers with simple steps and free resources. So, ang papakita natin sa umagang ito is YouTube. Paano ba natin makakakuha ng inspiration sa YouTube? Also, paano ba natin magagamit yung Google search para sa business natin? And lastly would be about Google My Business. Especially para sa mga business owners dito na may physical stores or restaurants na pwede talaga natin malagay sa Google Maps. Okay, simulan natin sa YouTube. Ano ba ang mga pwede nating gawin pag nasa YouTube tayo as food and business owners? Dito, you could actually get inspiration from YouTube videos. Ako mismo, doon din ako tumitingin sa YouTube. So, dito nakikita ko yung mga inspiring na food entrepreneurs din na very, very helpful in actually also sharing their own tips and even their recipes on what to create in terms of parang food inspirations. So, marami dyan. So, punta lang kayo sa YouTube, tapos search nyo, marami kayong makikita. Search nyo lang food. Makikita nyo na din, lalabas din tong mga to. So, dito kita mo may mga ano talaga, mga food vloggers na mismo. Even yung mga celebrity vloggers andito rin. Kung makikita nyo, si Juday nandito. At nagbibigay din talaga sila ng tips about food. Also, you can do your research and find inspiration for, una, maybe kailangan ng inspiration for new recipes. So, marami dyan sa YouTube. Or baka gusto niyo mag-isip ng, okay, ano pa bang ibang pwede niyong malagay sa menu? Or new ways of cooking and even food presentation. Madami yan doon. So ito, parang isang sample na nakita ko sa YouTube video would be itong new ways of cooking. So hindi ko akalain meron palang way of putting the scrambled egg and sliced bread together. So interesting tong panoorin kung paano nga ba to ginagawa as one pan egg toast. Maybe also inspiration on new taste and flavor combination. So ito, nagulat din ako, banana cheese balls. Parang hindi ko akalain banana at cheese in one recipe. So very interesting food trend. Ito din si Chef RV, may mga easy recipes na pwede nyo din talagang gayahin. So marami tayo dyan sa YouTube na pwede nyo talagang tingnan. Okay? So, really learn from food YouTubers. So, if meron kayong nakikitang influencer na gusto nyong i-follow, so just like and subscribe their channels para at least ma-update din kayo sa mga ginagawa nilang mga YouTube content. So, tingnan nyo rin, like parang, what do they post and how do they post it? Baka makaka-inspire din siya sa kung paano nyo rin ipopost yung sarili nyong content pag kayo naman yung gumawa ng content para sa food and bev business nyo. So, ito, may nakita ko parang ang galing ni Panlasang Pinoy. So, marami siyang binibigay na tips, especially for Filipino food recipes. So, check them out. Yung nakakatulong din is actually yung search bar sa YouTube. So, gaya ng ginawa ko, actually nag-search ako ng, okay, ano ba yung mga food, parang tips na nasa YouTube. So, pag nag-search kayo niyan, dami na ring lumalabas na mga videos tungkol dyan. So, tingnan nyo rin, like parang what could be like food inspiration for business. Maraming mga makikita kayo doon sa YouTube. Ayan, punta naman tayo sa Google search. So, tulad nung pinakita natin na pwede nating makitang YouTube videos to serve as inspiration for our F&B business, meron din tayong makikitang for inspiration and tutorials if you search also on Google. So dito, hinanap ko si Panlasang Pinoy and meron siyang website na nakikita mo talaga dito lahat ng mga recipes na pwede mong kunan for inspiration. So kung meron kayong naiisip na baka recipe for chicken, try nyo lang i-search on the search bar and then magugulat din kayo sa sangkatutak na content na pwede nyo rin talaga paghanapan ng inspiration para sa inyong business. And we also mentioned in the first part, di ba, na pwede nyo rin gamitin yung Google Trends para at least makita nyo if ito bang uso na nakikita nyo sa vloggers or sa food influencers, ito ba talaga ay nakikita din na parang in terms of trend pagdating sa data of searches. So, alam ko meron kayong na session na for Google Trends. So dito, mas more i-apply lang din natin kung paano ba natin to ma-apply mismo for food and bev businesses. So, simple lang. If you go to Google Trends and parang tingnan nyo kung ano, for me, example, mahilig ako sa kape at gusto ko makita na, ano nga ba ang mga pwede kong makuha na inspiration for coffee. So, ang napansin ko dito, mga related topics pala tulad ng, pag coffee pala, ang ibang mga sinesearch around coffee is kapeng barako, dalgona coffee lumabas, so may usong ganon. So, mapapaisip rin ako as cafe owner, di ba na, gusto ko bang ilagay kasama sa menu ko yung dalgona coffee para maka-engganyo din ng ibang customers para pumunta sa cafe and then i-try itong bago kong menu na pwede nilang bilhin. And then related also to coffee pala is yun, parang iced coffee and coffee jelly na recipe. So some inspiration for me to also consider while I have my own cafe business. And last but definitely not the least sa mga free Google tools that you could use for your business would be Google My Business. So this is very important, especially for business owners in the audience right now na meron talagang physical store, may restaurant or may cafe, na talagang pwede din talagang hinahanap ng mga target customers nyo. So at least pag sila nag-search on Google, hopefully lumabas din yung business nyo. Tulad nun, if napansin nyo kanina sa Google Trends, kasama sa related queries nung tiningnan natin yung coffee would be coffee shop near me. So, nakikita din talaga natin yun na may mga nagsusearch ng ganun. So, syempre, pag may nag-search ng coffee shop near me, in that particular area, hopefully, lalabas din yung business nyo para at least makakatulong din to para makita kayo ng target customer nyo na naghahanap talaga din ng coffee shop. So, ito would be some reasons why it is important to be present on Google. So, some facts that we're seeing, people are searching before they buy. So, 3 out of 4 online customers use a search engine to actually find a business. And 7 out of 10 actually made a purchase from a business by them finding it using search. So, itong Google listing on the Google My Business na feature, this really appears right when people search for that particular business. So this allows your interested customers to learn more or get in touch with one click from Google search or maps. So imagine if you were also in that business and pag nag-search sila, the likelihood of them seeing your business if you put your listing on Google My Business is really, really a lot more in terms of chances for them to see you. So, 3 main reasons to use Google My Business. 1, stand out on Google by sharing fresh, useful info. So, pag hinanap kayo, tulad nito, yung example is dandelion chocolate. So, ito siya, pag naghanap ng chocolate nearby, isa din siya sa lalabas pag nag-search yung customer. This also would help us parang as business owners engage with our customers and build loyalty kasi may feature din dito na pwedeng lagyan ng Google reviews yung business nyo. So, if may isa na tuwang-tuwa, syempre pag naglagay yan ng very good review, that could also help the next potential customer who searches about, for this example, chocolate, to also see na, oy, mukhang okay tong dandelion chocolate pala. Nakita ko may ibang customers na tuwang-tuwa sa na-discover nila dito. And remember, for our businesses, word of mouth is very important, and that would mean it would also include customer reviews. So that's one important reason why you have to use Google My Business, so that you could also take advantage of this feature. Also, because you are present on the Google listing, you would also see some insights and also data on how your customers actually also um, look into your business. So nakikita dito yung mga customer activities. And so this will also help you find insights on, okay, ano ba yung talagang hinahanap, or anong time ba usually pumupunta yung customers or naghahanap yung customer ng parang certain information that could also be related to my business. Okay, so we now tackle some tips on how you should also be able to take advantage of this free Google listing on Google My Business. So one first important tip is to keep your business profile up to date on your listing. So did you know that 54% look for business open hours? So syempre, yung mga tao, parang important din sa kanila yung time. So, if ever, bago man sila umalis pa sa bahay, hinahanap din nila to. Gusto nila makita na, pagdating ko doon, open ba talaga? Kasi kung hindi, sayang lang din sa oras. So, yun, di ba? Parang almost half of the customers would actually look for business open hours. So it pays to make sure that in your listing, that is up to date in terms of store hours. So make sure also that you enter your business category as food and beverage, kasi may mga classifications din yan. And syempre, as food and beverage business, may iba ding customized types of features ang Google My Business that's really more important for food and bev businesses. So make sure also that your information is complete and filled in properly, so that your customers can locate your restaurant or cafe and plan their meal times as well on kung kailan sila pupunta. Nangyari na to sa amin din dati, nag-search kami ng restaurant, tapos for some reason, hindi pala yun yung tamang location sa Google Maps. So, kung saan kami pupunta sa totoong location, mga 1 hour away lang naman yung difference. So, important din talaga na up-to-date yung location nyo sa cafe nyo or your restaurant in Google Maps, para hindi rin maligaw yung customer, and sayang din yung potential sale na nakuha sana ng restaurant if nakapunta kami sa tamang location. Make sure that your information is always accurate and up to date. So also 40% there is 40% more requests for directions when people search about businesses. One thing that you could also look at would be bringing your business to life with photos. Eye-catching photos, which we really discussed then parang in our first part of this session, really helps grab the attention of your target customers. So apply the techniques and the tips that we shared this morning to also bring your photos to life. Make sure that your photos also are bright and of good quality para nakakaengganyo talaga. And add unique photos of your product store and even your team members of your restaurant, para mag-stand out din pag nahanap kayo ng inyong customers. Also, you could also try bringing in new business or new customers if you share what's new about your restaurant or your cafe. Did you know that 1 out of 2 actually look for promotions or discounts? So this is one way to actually also make sure that people know about it. So promote it and put it also in your profile. So people will know na, oh, may promo, sige, punta tayo, try natin, doon tayo mag-chill. So make sure you post at a consistent interval also. Maybe for example, should you post every week para at least yung mga titingin ng business profile ninyo on maps, they will also see na, oh, open pa talaga tong business na to bilang meron pang parang recent post about the business. So make sure you post at the time when customers are also most active. So we mentioned, di ba, part of the business profile that you will create, you will also see some insights and also data on how your customers are also acting on your business profile. So kung kailan or time na kailan na mas maraming pupunta or nagtitingin sa business profile nyo, doon din kayo mag-post para at least swak sa kung kailan din sila nagsa-search. So, as mentioned, get your customers interested by sharing special offers and promotions because this will also really help entice your customers or invite your customers to go and try and visit your restaurant or your cafe. So, another would be engaging your customers to also help build loyalty for your business. So, talk to your customers via reviews. So, marami din sa atin ang mahilig talaga mag-review, lalo na pag tuwang-tuwa sila sa service and sa food that they tried in your restaurant or in your cafe. So, what we also saw is that, did you know that 2 out of 3 see positive reviews as an important criteria for themselves to also check out that business. So pag nakakakita sila ng positive review, syempre ang iisipin din ng mga nakakita ng business profile nyo na, oh, siguradong okay to dito, sige, try din natin. So you could try building loyalty by responding to your customers because customers also want to interact with your business, and that's why they actually place the reviews because they also want to reach out and say that they really had a pleasant experience in your restaurant or your cafe. So make sure to reply to reviews from customers, be it positive or negative reviews. Really take the time to also engage your customers. Because this is one way to show that you actually care. You actually care about their feedback. So answer the customer politely and also provide a good solution to any comment that they will put on your reviews. So make sure that you monitor your restaurant or cafe reviews to be sure that you're also up to date with what is happening in your engagement with your customers. Okay. Also, make it easy for customers to get in touch. The fact that they actually search about your business means that they really also want to reach out and talk to someone from that particular business. So, what we also saw is that, did you know that 90% um, will more likely visit a business if may phone number? Because in that way, if may question sila, they could contact the business through the number that is listed in your Google My Business profile so that they could really reach out to you. So make sure that your Google listing is up to date because customers can use the call button feature on your profile to contact you with just one click. So it's really easy for them to get in touch. And so people who are also looking for your business online can get in touch at the exact moment when they're interested para hindi sayang yung momentum. Nandun na naghanap na, interested na, nakita ng phone number because up-to-date yung profile nyo, edi mabilis na lang sila magpindot nun para tawagan kayo at mag-inquire about your business. Okay. And lastly, so that you're also sure na up-to-date kayo sa nangyayari sa profile nyo on your Google My Business listing. Turn on your notifications. So make sure you respond to the notifications given by Google My Business. These notifications also actually work as reminders for you to reply to customer messages and reviews and improve your performance so that you really have a good, well-maintained profile on the Google My Business listing. All right. Last few tips for Google My Business or GMB. So we mentioned that you could actually also see your customer activity on the business profile, right? So this is an example of how it will look like. So see what's working for your business. And also, dahil nakikita nyo tong insights na to and data tungkol sa customer nyo, use it to also make sure to improve your business based on these reports. So, mga example na important dito would be yung mga calls and yung mga requests for directions. So, you could also learn where your customers come from, what days of the week keeps you busy because yun yung time na pumupunta yung customers. So, kita nyo na, okay, pag maybe dito dahil mas maraming mas maraming customers ang pumupunta, edi baka mas kailangan din ng additional staff so that mas service din ng maayos yung mga customers na pupunta. So, those are some ways for you to see na, okay, ito yung mga pwede nating improve on the business. And also, if you're complete now with your listing and up to date, complete yung information on that one, you could also try promoting your listing with an ad on Google. So you could also choose what really matters to you most, like calls ba parang ang gusto niyong i-promote para maraming tao yung magko-contact sa inyo, or store visits or people to go to your website. You could choose this type of objectives and your ad will really optimize to reach that goal that you want. So that's one tip that you could also apply once you're, of course, complete with your Google listing na. So wait, there's one more free tool. So we talked about Google My Business extensively. And ang maganda din dito is that pwede rin kayo actually gumawa ng website in less than 10 minutes. So hindi kailangan masyadong techie para magawa to. 3 steps lang to. You create the website that you want, you edit it, and then wala, publish mo na. Parang i-go mo ng live online. So, paano ba to? So, pag pumunta ka dun sa Google My Business profile, may makikita kayong sa left side na website. So, click website to get started. As easy as that. And then, once you're there are also features na on that page that will allow you to edit your website information. So, lagay mo na dito yung mga photos na magaganda galing dun sa natutunan natin kanina on food photography. And then, lagay mo na rin the descriptions para makita na rin kung ano about yung business nyo. And then, pwede rin kayo mag-choose ng design. So, may mga themes na rin dyan sa page na pwede nyong gamitin para check na lang kayo ng templates na bagay sa gusto nyong dating ng website ninyo. And then, may part din doon na if you choose edit on the left side part of the bar, where pag inedit mo yan, pwede na rin kayo maglagay ng descriptions. And then, of course, yung favorite nating topic of this morning, you could add photos, add images to your website. And then, lastly, you select settings para ma-publish na to. Publish would mean na magla-live online and makikita na in public yung pinaghirapan yung design ng website ninyo in less than 10 minutes. So, pag ready to publish na, publish nyo lang yung click the publish button and you're done. So, choose a website address. So ideally, of course, the name of your business so that it is easily connected to your business when people search for that website. And congrats, you're on the web. Okay, last few tips for Google My Business. If you want to keep trying to learn more about Google My Business, your best friend will be the Google My Business Help Center, which you can actually find the web addresses here in terms of looking for information and for general Google My Business questions. All right, so we've reached the end of our session for today, which is Google for F&B MSMEs. We really hope you actually learned a lot from our tips and our sharing for this morning. But we've also summarized here kung ano yung key takeaways na pwede naming i-remind kayo with the session that we had this morning. So, first, many consumers are taking their F&B purchases online. So, kailangan din talaga natin to isipin as business owners on how to make your online presence for yourself. So, marami tayong tips for that one. So, hopefully that could help you also look into what you can do for your own business. Another very interesting tips that we showed kanina would be that proper visualization of your food and menu will help you catch their attention at the right moment. So take advantage of the tips on food photography, on color theory, and how you could lay out your menu well so that you could also really improve the way you present your businesses. Second, YouTube, Google Search, and Google Trends are great ways for you to actually understand and take inspiration about the food and beverage market in the Philippines. And so this will also be one way for you to get inspiration on how you could showcase your business online. And lastly, start leveraging Google My Business and all its features today to build your online presence on Google Search and Google Maps. You can even use it to create your first website. So hopefully you could really maybe take away just a few of the tips that we have this morning and let us know how it could also really help grow your business better. We hope everything we shared today will help you improve your online presence and keep your business running during these tough times. And if you are interested in learning more about how to move your business online, we have some helpful resources we want to highlight. If you are interested in learning more on all Google tools MSMEs can use to succeed online, we strongly recommend you to go to Skillshop at g.co/Skillshop. It is an online training platform with e-learning courses designed by Google product experts. You can learn at your own pace and get Google product certification at no charge. Before we end, you can refer to our Grow with Google website for more information on the tools that we've covered today, as well as additional resources that will be useful for you. Think with Google for the latest insights, trends, and best practices to help you navigate through the uncertainty. I would strongly encourage everyone to continue your learning journey with us online through Google Primer. It is a mobile app that offers quick, easy to understand lessons to help business owners and individuals grow skills and reach your goals. You can download the Google Primer app today on your Play Store or App Store. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter to get the latest business insights and trends. And we will also be announcing any upcoming workshops on our page. If you enjoyed yourself today, please drop us a review on our Facebook page and share with your peers. Thank you so much for your time today. Take care and stay safe. We will now transition over to Q&A so you can ask any questions on the topics we covered today.